Tonight, reaction to a story Fox 45 News first broke last night. A measure that could give and save taxpayers millions of dollars is met with silence by our lawmakers in Annapolis.
But as Project Baltimore's Chris Papst explains, not everyone is ignoring the issue.
Outrage and disbelief. That was the response Tuesday morning from one of the most listened to radio talk shows in the Baltimore region.
Nobody wanted to debate it or talk about it.
This is one
It's
of
incredible.
It doesn't even get any type of debate. It got silence.
Clarence Mitchell, or C4, and Brian Neiman sounding off about a story Project Baltimore broke Monday night.
Why do they want to do this? They want to continue it because they just want the additional funds.
Exactly.
At issue, tens of millions of taxpayer dollars going to educate students who are not in school and can't be found.
We're doing this because there's an obvious problem that's been identified by Project Baltimore, that there are students who have never attended a class,
Right.
who are getting paid for it.
Project Baltimore first broke the story 1 year ago, exposing potential ghost students at Augusta Fells, a high school in West Baltimore. But the problem was much bigger than one school. We learned in 2019, taxpayers paid nearly $93 million in just that 1 year to educate students statewide who could not be found.
To me, education of our children is a bipartisan issue.
In response to our findings, Carroll County Delegate April Rose introduced House Bill 1365 to the Appropriations Committee in Annapolis. Currently in Maryland, schools count enrollment one time a year, September 30th. The head count from that one day determines their funding the following year. 1365 would make schools count enrollment 4 times a year, and funding would be based on the average. When Rose introduced the bill, she expected pushback, or at least a discussion. Instead, her bill was ignored.
I thank you for your time and consideration, and I request a favorable report. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you very much, Delegate Rose. Are there any questions from members of the Appropriations Committee for Delegate Rose?
Before Rose introduced HB 1365, the Maryland State Education Association, the teachers union, along with Howard and Anne Arundel County schools, sent written statements to the committee opposing 1365. Rose believes once the union opposed a bill, it was effectively dead.
I'm Delegate Maggie McIntosh.
Delegate Maggie McIntosh is the chair of the Appropriations Committee. She represents Baltimore City.
Madam Chair, obviously, she had to leave the hearing.
But McIntosh was not on the virtual panel as Rose introduced the bill. McIntosh appears to have dropped off. Project Baltimore reached out to McIntosh asking if or when House Bill 1365 would be voted on. We also asked McIntosh where she went as Rose introduced the bill. A bill that was drafted in response to significant issues uncovered at a school that is in the city she represents. But we never heard back.
And this issue to me will only grow legs because we're about to add $4 billion with a B dollars on top of all the other money. How is that going to be scrutinized? It's like giving a drug addict more drugs to one of these school systems. What incentive do they have to count the students any better when they're getting all this money? None. This is a problem.
There are still many unanswered questions surrounding House Bill 1365, the counting of students and the funding a school receives. We believe taxpayers deserve answers from the union and the 2 school systems that opposed House Bill 1365. Fox 45 News will stay on this story. I'm Chris Papst, and this is Project Baltimore.